Hi, I'm Dr. Rina Natalenko, and I have many interests: writing and history and creative arts. My doctorate is in creative arts, majoring in writing, and I've taught at high school, college, university, and in the community. Some of my more popular books are on family history, the Family Memory Project, the Family Message Book, and I've written a book on running art and craft workshops. I've video workshops on many topics, including writing your own book, and I'm also the editor of Yarn magazine.
I'm originally from England and have travelled extensively with my husband in Europe and all over the world, although Australia is now our home base. I love to introduce people to new ideas, fun information, fascinating facts, with a bit of a laugh at the same time.
Who knew, for example, about some of the scandals that are behind the most innocent of nursery rhymes? Nursery rhymes may seem innocent, but these twisted and bizarre stories show how harmless nursery rhymes often had their origins in violence and scandal. Another fascinating area is fairy tales. Fairy tales or scary tales looks at the intriguing origins of fairy tales, some of which are 6,000 years old and would pass as horror stories today. Another favourite is bannings and burnings, the investigation of censorship throughout history, from the earliest days of Aesop's fables through the Spanish Inquisition to the strange things that are banned today. Historical talks of this type are always popular. We uncover what lies beneath in the history of underwear, from the Iceman to the Y generation and into the future. I address the mysteries of medieval medicine. How did people cure themselves in the past? We examine the good, the bad, and the ugly of ancient cures. And what would happen if we use those cures today? And everybody is entertained by What's Love Got to Do with It, which looks at the strange but true history of marriage. For the Australian cruises, I like to introduce the audience to some of the lesser-known Australian bushrangers, those Robin Hoods of Australia, the villains we love so well. These are the bushrangers that even Australians wouldn't have learned about in school. The murderers, madmen and outlaws of Australian history. Or were they? I also enjoy the looks on surprised faces when I go through some of the wonderful things which Australians have invented in the talk on amazing Australian inventions. From prepaid postage to the refrigerator, from torpedoes to box kites, from the Hills hoist to the pacemaker, Australian inventions have been changing the world for centuries. I love to enlighten listeners about famous lives too, and they've enjoyed presentations on Australians who changed the world. The inspiring stories of Fred Hollows, who gave eyes to the world, Elizabeth Kenny, who found the cure for polio, and Howard Florey, who discovered penicillin. In Famous and Infamous Women of New Zealand, we hear the startling stories of Etty Rout, the guardian of the Anzacs, Nancy Wake, the White Mouse, and Kate Sheppard, the first suffragist. And in Legendary Men of New Zealand, we meet Edmund Hillary, the conqueror of Everest, Rutherford, the Atom Man, and Sir Peter Jackson, the Lord of the Rings. If cruises happen to coincide with significant events, I like to add a talk on the celebration of that event, such as the history of Easter or Christmas, and the different celebratory traditions around the globe.
Actually, wherever I'm speaking in the world, I mix in destination-specific talks, famous or infamous people from that country, local inventions, and stories from that area, and I mix them in with the more general topics, which attract a wide interest.
For me, the mixture of history and literature fills me with excitement, and I pass that love of knowledge to my lovely cruise ship audiences.